Well, say it with me. Not today, Vapor Lock. Sometimes for as little as 10 American dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Sharks. Our daily driver C10 project still has some Vapor Lock issues. This is totally solvable, team. Get your nerd glasses on. When the fuel turns to a vapor in the line, it expands and creates basically a vapor bubble that the liquid fuel can't really get past, thus stopping the fuel flow to your carburetor. That's not necessarily the only form of vapor lock, and usually the one that's not discussed most in the forums. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to solve them both because this truck has them both. So take a look at your fuel line routing first. We've got the fuel coming out of the fuel pump to the fuel line through a filter to the carburetor. The carburetor has a needle and seat, so it only lets fuel into a certain level, at which point a float comes up, stops the flow of fuel into the carburetor. The fuel just sits here, just sitting right on the header. It is just cooking away. The fuel gets hot and the liquid turns to vapor lock. Phase one, let's run our fuel line in a way that it's not touching the hottest part of the engine. Let's look at phase two. This is a Wix 33040. It's about 10 American dollars. It is a fuel filter with a little bypass. That little bypass is a return to the tank. If you don't have a return line, I recommend you move the fuel line out from away from the headers or all the heat that you possibly can. We now have created a bypass loop. Instead of the fuel sitting in the fuel line and just boiling, our fuel comes out of our fuel pump, heads out towards our carburetor, giving it constant pressure. When the float sinks and the needle opens, all the fuel that the carburetor would like can go into the carburetor. The fuel will flow through the filter, back down here, back to the cool fuel in the tank, and then run back out. And this thing still has the other, also very common vapor lock issue, which is you run it, you get it hot, you park it at the ice cream stand, you get your ice cream, you come back out, and then she won't start. And that's because all the fuel is boiled out of the carburetor and gone down into the intake. Now, if you find yourself in that position where the fuel is boiled over out of the carburetor, the best way to start your vehicle is to hold the pedal all the way to the floor and then turn the key. That will clear out all the fuel that's in there and basically eliminate your ridge condition. That's how you get rid of flooding as well. So the situation we've got here, we have an intake sitting on top of a hot engine. Our intake happens to be aluminum, and aluminum is real good at heat transfer. On top of that, we have an aluminum carburetor, which is also really good at heat transfer. So as the engine gets super hot, we're cooling it with liquid coolant and the fan and everything else, and then when we shut it off, all that heat has nothing to do but rise. What you end up with is a hot engine heating up an intake manifold, heating up a carburetor, which is essentially going to boil your fuel because everything you got going on under here is above 200 degrees, and every fuel made to run through one of these things boils at a temperature below that and vaporizes at a temperature below that. We need to isolate the heat transfer as much as we can between the intake and the carburetor. Here's what we've got to solve that. This is an Edelbrock heat insulator gasket thing. You put this between the intake and the carburetor and it stops the heat transfer direct. This thing was on the shelf at the O'Reilly's.